Hello and welcome, and this is my Nissan Silvia. To be more specific, this is my Nissan Silvia Spec or Aero S15 from 2002. Yes, it is a bit of a mouthful, but we're just gonna ignore that and focus on the car. So, as you can see, this car is not standard. Now the car is slightly modified. So let's just talk about those modifications. The car comes standard with an SR20 engine, which yes, does produce a bit of power, but I wasn't happy with it. So we took that engine and we threw it in the bin. This is a 2JZ powered Nissan Silvia S15. We slapped the biggest possible turbocharger onto it with some anti-lag, and that is the reason that this car now idles at 6,000 RPM. But one thing I love about it is how this car sounds. Now I don't know if you could tell yet, but this is my personal drift car. Out of all of the cars I've driven, there's something about the S15 that I absolutely adore, and it just makes me want to put this car sideways. So when I saw that we could put a 2JZ into it that produces 777 brake horsepower, I knew that this car was going to be a lot of fun, and I didn't want to just check this car like any other vehicle. I wanted this to be slightly different. So that's the exact setup I have in it. And from the time I've tuned the vehicle, I've never thought back. I've never thought of, what if I made this car into a race car? What if I made it with the sole purpose of becoming a track vehicle? Well, that all changes today. Now we don't actually have to change much, because we aren't going to touch the power, we aren't going to touch the drivetrain. We're going to leave everything as it is. The only thing that we're going to focus on is the car's overall suspension tuning and maybe some downforce. On screen now is my drift setup, so if you do want to try it out for yourself, you can pause the video here and copy down the settings. And yes, I have been using racing soft tires to drift around on, but that just goes to show you how much power the 2JZ actually produces to light up the grippiest tires in the game. So now, with all of our suspension tuning done, and yes, I only changed camber angle, it's now time to head back out on circuit to actually talk about the 2JZ swap Silvia S15. Now out on circuit, we see that the car, yes, has a ton of power, which means if you have traction control off, the rear end will step out and you will end up sliding. So on the straightaway, the car's acceleration is quite rapid, and the way it just keeps pulling you along. No, it is not the most powerful of engine swaps, but no, it is not a slow vehicle per se. With 777 brake horsepower, it is nothing to bat an eye to. So with the car setup now, as you can see, we are still able to push it through the corners at relatively high speed and not really slide out and lose too much control. The car is quite planted, and that is what a good suspension setup will do for you. Especially me, I like setting my suspension to make it as hard as possible. That's why I actually try to avoid riding curbs and just hitting apexes bang on, because it can often unsettle the car and just basically try and kill you like this. So the Nissan Silvia S15, it will be a lot of fun, it's a lot of power, but if you aren't careful, it will try to end you. But look, that's part of the driving experience. If you're gonna take a classic JDM vehicle and you're gonna throw a ton of power at it, you do need to face the facts that since it is an old car, it's not gonna handle the power as well as, for example, if we take the same engine swap and put it into a Toyota 86, talking about the new ones. Now, that car handles the power incredibly well. You can still get the car to slide out. It's so much more fun, and it's a lot more controllable than putting the same engine, the same power plant into this S15. But there's just something that brings so much more coolness I know there's probably a better word out there, but that's the only way I'm gonna describe it. There's something about being in a classic JDM vehicle with tons of power, and it's just a blast to drive. Now, is this the best possible car for you to swap this 2JZ into? No, not at all. If you're looking for the best car to put this 2JZ power plant into, then my suggestion is the Toyota GR Yaris. That car is incredible. 4-wheel drive system, everything. It has everything that the Silvia will offer, just in a newer, more fun package. But one thing that this car has that no other vehicle that can be engine swapped with the same engine has is heritage. Okay, 86 yard, pre-father and all that. I'm talking about the Silvia. This is a stunning vehicle to look at. It is a JDM icon that has received the modern power plant that it deserves. I can't really say modern because 2JZ came out around the same. It receives the power plant that this car deserves. But what would be better if we were able to get an RB26 engine swap? Hopefully that actually comes to the game one day. But as you can see, with a slight adjustment of just camber alone, the car becomes a proper driver's vehicle. Yes, it gives you the excitement when the back end slips out, but it's not completely lighting up the rear wheels like the LS7 swapped S13. The car is very controllable, it's sensible, it gives you enough power when you need it, wherever you need it. Yes, it does have a high RPM turbocharger, but the boost is there throughout the rev range. But when it does reach that 6,000 RPM mark, you do need to hold on. This car is honestly like the best of both worlds. If you want to go track racing, if you want to go drifting, the car has you covered. And that's what I love about this car. It's the simplicity about it this car offers that not many others can actually give you. So for that alone, I say that this is a great engine swap. If you are going to try and use this for endurance racing, I do want to remind you that it isn't the lightest on fuel. But if you do want to try it out, the car has enough power to overtake any opponents you have. So with all that's being said, the Nissan Silvia S15. It's loads of fun, drifting, JDM icon. That's about it. If you did go on to enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more Gran Turismo 7 content. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.